Welcome guys. So this could be one of the most valuable low ticket ascension type videos you've ever seen, right? We've just come off the back of a $245,000 month for one of the done for you partner clients that I have in the agency. And this is a low ticket ascension funnel that we're running, right? Low ticket offers on the front end, ascending to high ticket offers on the back end. Now, last 30 days, you can see here, I'll refresh the screen. It's kind of made the ads manager look a little bit weird because I've obviously compressed it so I can have the video feed on the right or left and the screen recorded side on the other side. But yeah, we can see here, total amount spent on this campaign was 131. Total amount of revenue is 245, so 1.87 on the front end. So we're actually profiting on the front end of this offer without taking into consideration lifetime value, other upsells and stuff down the line that we'll sell to these prospects that are coming through. So yeah, just wanted to show you that we are, practice what I preach. I have a bunch of different videos on my channel that talk about the different funnels that we're running, high ticket offers, VSLs, webinars, live events, live challenges, virtual events. But one of the ones that I talk about quite a lot, I like to refer to it as the Trojan horse method. So you're creating a low ticket offer on the front end. It's like an entry product into your ecosystem, and then you're selling high ticket services on the back end. So today I'm going to be giving you, I did initially frame it as 50 lessons, but I removed a couple. So this is going to be around, I think there's like 45, 47, 48, something like that. Lessons on low ticket ascension funnels that I've learned from my experience doing this for 5 to 6 years now. And, scaling multiple info offers, online coaching offers to multiple 6-figure months, right? So let's get straight into it. Now, lesson number 1 is that your front end offer is a lead magnet, okay? It's not your moneymaker. So you need to stop thinking of your low ticket offer as your main revenue source. It's really just a way to get people in the door who are actually willing to pay, and the real money comes from selling something bigger later. Now, I've always spoke about this principle, right? But it was interesting because I'm part of this community and we got access to the one of Alex Hormozi's private workshops. It's the marketing scaling workshop, SOP, blah, blah, blah. I went through the PDF, I read the whole thing front to back, and something stood out to me. Well, a lot of things stood out to me, but one of the things that stood out to me was the 3 type of lead magnets that he had basically created, right? Always teaching about. And one of them he mentioned was the splinter strategy. And the splinter strategy is 80 to 90% of one piece of your full offer. So it could be, I don't know why he didn't just say like maybe 5 to 10% of your main offer, right? So there's 2 ways to look at it like that. But that is essentially what a lot of low ticket offers could be, right? It's like it's a small slice, a very thin slice of the whole pie that you offer people. And it's almost like an entry point product into your ecosystem. There's a lot of different ways that people call it, but it was interesting that Alex Hormozi even said it himself. And refer to it as a splinter. Number 2 is that numbers don't lie. Low ticket funnels win at scale. It's fucking logical, right? Even Russell Brunson said it, Dan Kennedy. Whoever can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins. So when you're spending real money on ads, I'm talking at scale, low ticket offers just work better trying to sell high ticket stuff directly. You get your money back faster, sometimes even instantly, sometimes even liquidated, sometimes even profiting on the front end. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can liquidate 100% all low ticket ascension funnels. I'm not going to tell you that you can profit 100% from all low ticket ascension funnels. But if you're making 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% back, it's a refund from Meta, right? It's money that you're not spending and you're getting leads for free, high ticket leads if your messaging is done correctly. It helps you to attract better quality customers because these are people that are already solution problem aware, right? And you see a lot of big players doing it right now. Like, guys, if you're in this space, if you're on freaking social media for at least 5 minutes a day, you will see that there are a lot of people doing low ticket offers, right? Number 3 is that you want to start with the end goal in mind. Before you even think about your front end offer, know exactly what you're selling on the back end. Design your cheap offer to prepare people for the bigger purchase. It's the natural stepping stone, right? You got to understand, guys, that the messaging for your high ticket offer doesn't really differentiate from the messaging to your low ticket offer, because ultimately, if you are launching a low ticket ascension funnel, what is the goal that you have? The goal is to sign high ticket clients. So you need to engineer the messaging, engineer the funnel, engineer the product in a way that starts with the end goal in mind, reverse engineering your high ticket offer. Now, lesson number 4 is don't sell them everything you know. Okay, we don't want to cannibalize the outcome that you're, looking to achieve, which is selling the high ticket offer. So don't sell them everything, One of the biggest mistakes is trying to teach people your whole system in a cheap course. They get overwhelmed and confused. They're thinking, well, this is super valuable. How can it only be X amount of dollars? It's obviously a bunch of shit, right? So give them one quick win. Give them the quickest win. I have an entire course, the Trojan Horse Method is one of my low ticket offers, which teaches about this concept of like, I guess a minimum viable product. You could refer to it as that, right? It's like, what can you draft up that is going to be super quick, but it's also going to give them the quickest win, the low hanging fruit. So it's a specific result that they get in a few days or weeks. Now, credit to Sam O'Halloran, I hope I pronounced that name correctly. He's a guy in the info space who's also doing a lot of stuff with low ticket. I learned this principle, or at least the way that it's kind of designed with the diagram actually makes a lot of sense. And I stole this from him because I think it's really cool. So instead of trying to give people everything, right? Let's just say it's for an offer to build a 6-figure agency for just $17, right? This is the type of niche that you're looking to go into. Someone will create this crazy offer, build a 6-figure agency for just 70, fulfillment, niche selection, outreach, sales, onboarding, team building. Like, fuck me, it's not worth $70. It doesn't add up. It's not logical, right? So immediately, alarm bells start ringing. Like, I'm not building a 6-figure agency for $17. Like, it doesn't sound right, okay? Instead, what you could do is get my proven cold email script that signed me 172 clients in the last 6 months for just $17. Cold outreach not working. So you're focusing on a specific problem with a specific solution, tying it into a specific outcome, a specific time frame, makes more logical sense rather than trying to freaking give them everything up front, because it does a lot of things. It cannibalizes the upsells, the order bumps. It makes it seem too hard to believe, yada, yada, yada. So you can compare it to like a shotgun spray and a machine gun spray versus one direct pinpoint sniper bullet, right? So number 5 is tools and templates beat information every time. People don't want to learn how to do something. They want the thing done, or they want a quick shortcut, right? Sell them a template, a checklist, a tool, or a framework they can use immediately. That's way more valuable than a course. Now, I probably say this later in a video, but if you are looking to sign done for you types of clients, you want to give them a done for you type of offer, right? Because they want things done for them. So they're typically probably going to fall into the ideal type of avatar that you want to attract into a done for you service. Now, number 6 is the $27 to $47 price point is your sweet spot for most offers. I've experimented with $5 products, $7 products, $17 products. Generally speaking, 27 to 47 is a good price spot, right? It's a good sweet spot. It's not too cheap that it attracts broke people who feel like the product isn't worth anything, and it's not too expensive that it starts to create risk, right? So around 20 to 47, I believe, in my opinion, is where people will make an impulse buy, but still feel like they're getting something real. When someone buys something for $5, they don't pay, so they don't pay attention, right? I'm not saying that $27 is a significant amount of money to the point of what they pay attention. I've brought fuckloads of low ticket offers in my time, never even opened the dashboards or the email that they sent the friggin' thing to. So, what I found is that this is the average sweet spot for the majority of offers, but it does differ. Okay, it does differ. I'm not going to say that this is going to work for everybody, because subject to what you're selling, your audience and stuff, it can differ. Now, on that point, number 7 is for B2B offers, you can go higher with your front end, right? If you're selling to businesses or people where they need to be a little bit more financially qualified, $97 can work better than $17 or maybe even $27, because it filters out the tire kickers and attracts people who are actually serious about solving that problem. Now, number 8 is keep your funnel simple, right? Sales page to order form to upsell page to call booking / confirmation / thank you page. That's it. Stop adding a million upsells, downsells, cross sells, and extra pages. Every step is another place where people either drop off or feel overwhelmed, right? It also creates buyer's remorse when you instantly try to sell them something that makes the core product feel inferior. Imagine you just went ahead and brought a low ticket offer that said, we're going to solve this, you're going to be able to do this. And then you purchase that, you get sent to the upsell page, and it makes the wording of that upsell makes what you just purchased feel completely inferior, like you're now not going to be able to achieve, what they had initially pitched that you would be able to achieve or promised on the first page. So instant buyer remorse. That instant buyer remorse is going to really harm your chances of then having a call with that individual, upselling them into your high ticket offers, right? So think about that logically. Number 9 is order bumps are your secret weapon. Right after someone buys, hit them with 2 to 3 quick fire offers that they can add on. These should be cheap, if not similar, cheaper, maybe even a tiny bit more than your core offer. But most importantly, they have to be hyper relevant and complementary to the front end offer. If you can get 30 to 40% of people to add them, you've just doubled your front end revenue. Now, a 30 to 40% take rate on an order bump is not unachievable, but it's also not, what 95% of people are going to do, right? I've seen it a lot, but I've also not seen it a lot, right? So the point being, guys, is that a lot of the low ticket funnels that I review, some of them have 1 order bump, some of them have loads, some of them have none, some of them have a good amount of order bumps, but they're not relevant, they're not complementary, right? People are buying into a specific pain, a specific solution. So when you pitch them something completely different that doesn't complement the existing product, it doesn't make sense, right? Make it make sense, make it clear, right? So number 10 is your confirmation page is prime real estate. A lot of people waste this, so don't. Use a video to congratulate them on their purchase, make them feel like they've made a good decision, reaffirm that thought, and then hint at the next problem that they're going to face and introduce them to your ecosystem. This could be sending them to your YouTube channel, your free school community, the Slack channel you're inviting them into, whatever it might be. This is where your ascension process starts. It doesn't end or start, I guess, at the low ticket purchase, right? It begins with the personal touch points that you have, just introducing them to the other layers of your world, essentially, right? And a great way to do that is to send them through to long form content, show them case studies, just kind of prime their mind for what's potentially about to come next. Now, video sells better than text, in my opinion. I've seen low ticket offers that don't have any VSLs. I've seen low ticket offers that just have images in the hero section. I've seen a bunch of different stuff. A short video on your confirmation page or hero page or upsell page will convert way better than just words and pictures. People connect with you through video, not bullet points or fancy graphics. I'm not saying this, it's impossible to work without a VSL or anything like that. But what I found, in my opinion, is that if you are looking to sell high ticket, if that's the end goal of your ascension funnel, which for the majority of you it will be, show your freaking face, show some personality. People buy from people, right? People buy the coach before they buy the coaching. Now, don't judge or assume your customer's budget. I've made this mistake myself. I've seen this happen many a times. Your sales team, or you, if you're taking the call, shouldn't assume that someone can't afford your high ticket offer based on how they talk, what they say, or what kind of business they have, or where they're even at in the business journey. People's situation change during a conversation. Some people have access to savings, some people have access to credit. Give everyone a real shot and treat everyone equally when people are coming through your funnel, especially when you are actually successful in liquidating your offer on the front end. You can seem to get kind of, I don't know, like when you start to liquidate the offer on the front end or even make profit from the front end, you start to get a bit cherry picky, right? With the types of calls that you're having, the people that you're speaking to, and you start to make assumptions. Don't let that happen, right? Treat everyone equally. You'll probably be surprised with the amount of people you speak to, and you kind of had these preempt judgments on where they're at, their position, what they could potentially invest in. You might end up being completely wrong. Even if they can't afford your service right now, why burn that lead? Why treat that lead any differently? Because later on down the line, they might implement the quick wins that you get in your low ticket offer and then eventually ascend to your high ticket offers, right? If you've been in the game for a while, you probably have had a bunch of experience with lead magnets, maybe even posted YouTube videos and got comments or, direct messages off the back end of it saying, hey man, I took action, or I watched this video that you did in XYZ and I went ahead and did XYZ with it. Thanks so much. Like the low ticket offer is just an entry point into your journey, right? So that journey doesn't have to end in 2 weeks, 7 days, or even the next day when you have the call with the individual. That could be a 3 to 6 to 12 month journey of this individual being indoctrinated on everything it is that you do. Whether or not they become a client, they might end up joining a mastermind. They might even end up joining one of your one-time offers that you promote on story sequences. Like, never assume, just treat everyone equally that's coming through the funnel. Now, number 14 is the affirm, agitate, reveal, close pattern works, right? After someone buys, tell them they made a smart choice, like I mentioned on the thank you page strategy. Mention the next problem they'll run into, make them problem aware. They might not already be problem aware of the next problem. And show them how your bigger offer solves that, right? Make it easy to say yes. Over deliver on the front end. Ownership bias kicks in because they've already purchased from you, they've already spoke to you, and now want to act in alignment with the new momentum or even identity / transformation that they've gained. You know, people are always going to want to act in alignment with the newfound momentum or growth that they are received, whether it's in that personal, business, wealth, health, dating, wherever it is, right? So follow this pattern, and I personally really over deliver on the front end, right? Really add a kind of layer of personalization. And even this is actually one I just thought of, a little tip I just thought of here, which I haven't put on the doc, is that obviously when you're creating your low ticket offers and stuff, you will likely, if you're doing it correctly, you'll likely have like a value stack, right? Where it's like you get this, 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 and then here's your bonuses. What I would recommend is also deliver more bonuses outside of that funnel, but do not mention those bonuses, right? So you're giving them something that they didn't even expect. It doesn't have to be huge. And if you can deliver it through a personalized video or something like that, that's fucking real kind of valuable information there, guys. If you have the time to do that, if you're not like at scale where you're getting like 50 freaking orders a day, a little can go a long way, especially in the type of market stage we're in with regards to market sophistication. Like a little bit of personalization goes a very, very long way in a world of ManyChat, automations, Zapier, AI, you name it, right? So 15 is delay, and this is optional, delay the call booking, delay the time frame or process in which they go from ordering the offer to actually attending a call with you. Wait 12 hours, 24 hours, or even after they've consumed the entire front end offer or received the front end offer if it's some kind of template or done for you type deal. This gives them a bit of time to use the product and get more invested, so they're more likely to show up and ascend. Now, let's say, for example, you're over delivering on your front end offer. It's great. It's going to leave a great first impression. They are going to be more receptive to ascending or upsell offers once they've got that momentum, right? Once they feel that good energy. It's like, for example, when you get a win with a client, the best time you want to ask for a testimonial is directly after they got that win. Energy is high. You know, the vibes are good. It's like, of course I want to give you a freaking testimonial. Like, you just freaking changed my life, or you really helped me with X, Y, Z. So sometimes, in some cases, depending on the offer, delaying the time at which they're able to book a call with you can work in your favor, okay? Next is your messaging determines who shows up. It's not the price that attracts broke people. It's bad messaging. If you're talking about the wrong problems or benefits, you'll get the wrong audience. It's not fucking groundbreaking news, right? Match your message to your ideal customer. Now, next is the native looking ads blend in better. What I've found, and this kind of varies, right? With media buying, with ads and stuff like that. I feel like right now, native ads are crushing it. You know, ads that look like they belong to the platform, even using the inside Instagram, the captions and stuff that you can use. Use the Edits app that Instagram have launched, you know. I feel like organic style ads, even just organically, I'm not even just talking about ads, are performing better, especially like statics and stuff as well. People's guard are down when they don't realize it's an ad. You know, when they see something that looks too over professional, too, you know, meticulously crafted, sometimes it can trigger, oh, you know, another guy trying to fucking sell me shit. Even if your setup looks amazing, even if it looks brilliant, you know, I'm not saying it's not going to convert or it's not going to do well, but this is just based on what I'm seeing right now. Native to the platform type of content, organic style content is seeming to, you know, work really well. Next thing is test one thing at a time. You know, change your ad angle, then wait for data. Change your avatar, then wait for data. Change your headline, then wait for data. Change your audience, then wait for data. Don't change 5 things at once because you're not going to know what fucking worked. If you're changing your ads, your audience, your funnel, you're split testing this, you're split testing that, the price, blah, 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 you're not like, and then something changes in a good way in your funnel. You're then not going to know, okay, what was it that changed that then created this, you know, positive impact in the funnel or positive impact in the business. So test one thing at a time. This is much easier to test one thing at a time when, So when you have a low budget, you're really restricted, right? You can only test one thing at a time. But when you have a larger budget, you can actually test more than one thing at a time because you can have separate campaigns for separate tests and stuff. Now, next is give your ads time to work. Don't kill an ad after just a few days just because it's not profitable yet. Low ticket funnels need time to gather data. Spend enough to get real numbers before you decide it's dead. Don't have firm expectations on early liquidation. Just because you can liquidate with this funnel, it doesn't mean that you will within the first 7 days. Like, give this shit some time, guys. Especially if this is your first offer that you've ever launched. Next is focus on dollar per lead and not just conversion rate. A 5% conversion rate means nothing if you're only making $2 per person. So you want to track how much each lead, is actually worth to you. That's the real metric that matters. Now, quite some time back, I found a Google tracking KPI doc that Joshua Gavin shared, another guy in the space that I highly respect. Super useful, right? Tracks everything, especially if it's an ascension funnel, from the order bumps to the one-time offers, to the front-end AOV, to the lifetime value, to the percentage of people that book a call, to the percentage of people that show, to the amount of actual calls you have, to the high-ticket cost per acquisition, to the cost per call, to the daily funnel revenue, to the monthly ads, like everything tying into one kind of doc. You need something like this to understand the metrics within your business, right? Because you can be super low. Well, I mean, you could break even or maybe even lose money on the front end, but within a month, based on lifetime value, or even within 2-3 months, like, you're making big profits. Without tracking that, you're just going to look at the numbers you're getting on a daily basis and be like, shit, I'm bleeding cash, when in actual fact, you're not, if you're tracking your numbers correctly, right? And you also get to calculate your real cost per customer. So don't just look at ad spend divided by sales, factor in your order bumps, your email follow-ups and everything else. What's the actual cost to get someone to book a call? Not only what's the actual cost, what is the actual input, right? What level of input do I need in order to create a said outcome? How many, follow-up emails or messages do I need to send after someone purchases? How many calls do I need to conduct? That's not only going to give you your cost per acquisition, it's also going to give you your physical investment per acquisition. What actions do I need to take in order to produce this outcome, aside from just what do I need to spend to produce this outcome, right? Now, don't kill your offer too early. Most people turn that funnel off after a week because it's not making money on day one. That's a mistake. Give it at least 2 to 3 weeks and enough ad spend to get real data. This is obviously subject to ad spend. If you're only spending $10, $15, $20 a day, I wouldn't even recommend launching one of these funnels, but it's going to take way longer than 2 to 3 weeks, especially if your offer is $47 or $27. Now, email and text follow-up is essential. Not everyone books a call right after buying. Send them emails, texts, and reminders. Even, like I said, personalized videos or voice notes on Instagram or via Loom email, blah, 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 blah. Some people need to be nudged multiple times before they take the next step. Next is your sales team makes or breaks everything, okay? If your sales team is happy and motivated, they'll close more deals. If they're getting bad leads and dealing with a broken funnel, they'll quit. Invest in making their job easier. I'll probably do a bunch of kind of videos in the future on improving sales teams' performance and just things based on my experience from working with offers and clients who are just terrible leaders. And I noticed the difference that makes in the sales team's performance compared to clients that I work with that are great leaders, and what the sales team performance looks like on that front, right? Leadership is everything when you're building a sales team, especially if they're performance based. Like, I can do another video about this. It's kind of unrelated to what we're talking about here. Now, 26 is offer multiple price points, right? So not everyone can afford your high ticket offer. Create a value ladder in with different options at different prices. Some people will buy the mid-tier option instead of nothing, right? And this is going to contribute towards your AOV. Don't just have a low ticket offer and your high ticket offer. You can have something in the middle, right? And that's going to help with lifetime value, AOV, liquidation on the front end, especially if you can automate that mid-ticket option. You don't have to invest no more time, but you're getting more money back from it, right? Think of ways that you can creatively scale your offer distribution without increasing time invested. And this is obviously going to be subject to how established your systems are. If you're starting from scratch, you're not going to have that. But if you've already built a program, you've already built this, you've had webinars that you've recorded, you've got Q&A libraries, blah, 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 blah. You've got a bunch of stuff that you can productize straight away without having to invest time into either building it or delivering it. 27 is your niche matters more than you think. The more specific you are, the easier it is to market. So AI for accountants beats AI for everyone. Specificity attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. 28, solve a problem you actually have or experienced or have transcended through, right? The best offers from problems you've personally, the best offers come from problems you've personally dealt with. You understand the pain better, and your marketing will feel authentic instead of forced, because you're actually tying it back to real world lived experiences. And this is where kind of overcoming the AI fucking slop era comes into play, right? Because one thing about building a personal brand is that it is personal to you. And when you have unique stories that no one else can replicate or replicate or copy, you're almost building a moat around your unique IP, right? You can even tie it into the unique methodology that you use, blah, 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 blah. It works. When you've actually been there, lived it, felt it, overcome it, and you've documented the entire process, it fucking sells. It's undeniable proof, right? You can't manufacture that. Now, 29 is challenges and masterclasses also work well as front-end offers. Some people believe that you need to create this course, you need to create this video series or PDF or this, that. A 7-day challenge, a 3-day challenge, an hour live training can be a great low-ticket offer, right? People like the structure and the quick win. It's easy to digest, it's easy to watch. Plus, you can sell the recording afterwards. So if you're selling a low-ticket live front-end offer, you're seeing a lot of people do 5-day virtual boot camps or even running virtual boot camps for our clients, right? It works because you can also use that live recording and sell it afterwards, right? As a recorded event or whatever. So you can even have 2 low ticket offers out of that. You know, you have the live one that you conduct and then the one that you sell afterwards that has been recorded. Now, next is include at least one done for you element. So if your back end is mostly coaching, throw in one thing that you do for them in the front end offer. It makes the whole thing feel more valuable and easier to sell, even if it's mainly built through AI or 80% templated / delegated through a VA that then goes in and personalizes it for that client or prospect. Now, next, your offer should prepare them for the back end. So if your high ticket offer is about running ads, your low ticket offer should teach them the basics. If it's about sales calls, teach them how to qualify leads, right? Make it natural progression without cannibalizing the upsell. Next is don't promise transformation, promise progress. I would have said promise transformation maybe 2-3 years ago, but I think people are fucking done with overpromised pitches because majority of people just under-deliver, right? If someone's promising that you will scale your business to 100K a month, you're probably going to scale it to 30. Like there's just so many fucking cowboys out there that are promising the world but never delivering. So what it's done to the market is it's made everyone desensitized to typical offers, promises, guarantees and stuff. So instead of saying lose 50 pounds, say build the habit of working out. Instead of saying make 100K, say get your first client, right? Small wins are more believable and more achievable. Now, next is bonuses. Bonuses should be front and center. You know, don't bury your bonuses in the fine print. Highlight them clearly on your sales page or value stack section. People buy for the bonuses just as much as they buy for the main offer. Use visuals to explain what they get, right? Show mock-ups, screenshots, and graphics of what's inside. We've all seen the typical kind of course mock-ups, right? You can buy them on Etsy for like a couple quid, a couple dollars. Don't just list features. People want to see what they're buying, not just read about it. This also indirectly, in my opinion, increases the perceived value of what they get, right? When you can create these fancy branded mock-ups, it increases the perceived value, okay? Instead of having, like, say, for example, you had 5 bonus PDF guides or whatever within this little mini course that you're selling for your low ticket offer, having all of them mapped out into mock-ups and, you know, put together in a pretty way, it just increases the perceived value. Looks cool, sounds cool, increases perceived value. And that's where branding comes into play, right? So number 35 is keep your order form simple, right? Don't ask for that life story, name, email, payment info, freaking YouTube channel URL, Instagram handle. Like, it's going to harm conversions. Name, email, payment info. In some cases, phone number. You can start a WhatsApp automated integration, integrated SMS. It's going to help. It's probably something I would honestly test. You know, I wouldn't test it initially. If you've got the budget to, I would test having one with the phone number and one without, because it will affect conversions. Maybe not drastically, but maybe slightly. Back to what Russell Brand and Dan Kennedy say. You know, the person that can pay the most to acquire a client wins. So if you have wiggle room, if you're liquidating, if you're making a bit of profit on the front end, add a bit of friction, get that phone number, because in the back end, that's going to, create more revenue because you have the flexibility to lose a bit on the front end, right? So the person who can pay the most to acquire a client wins. Your offer needs a clear back end or it dies. So if you don't have a high ticket offer to sell them, your low ticket funnel will eventually fail. You need an ascension path or the whole thing falls apart. It's quite difficult, based on my experience, to create life-changing profits at scale with just low ticket offers. Like, you obviously get people like Maria Wen and stuff like that who have an insanely great organic engine. They can get away with just selling low ticket products, right? But if you're trying to scale to high numbers in ad spend and you don't have a higher ticket upsell, or at least a mid ticket upsell, like, there's probably going to be a life expectancy on that funnel, and it's probably not going to last very long, right? Next is, don't rely on AI generated content alone. AI slop doesn't sell. Your expertise, unique story, and real results are what people actually want, and in fact can actually fucking relate to, right? Use AI to help and supercharge you, but make sure that your voice doesn't kind of get compromised in that, right? We're in this era now where AI just gets used for fucking everything. So actually everyone ends up sounding the same. So it's actually never been easier to fucking stand out from everyone else, because people who double down on their unique experience, their unique stories, their unique wins, their unique challenges, origin story, whatever it might be, are going to be the ones that stand out, because you're the only one who's going to be able to talk about your unique story in the way that you tell it, right? So that will make your experience shine through the guys that are just using AI for everything. Next is, your offer is an entry ticket into your journey, not the end destination. So think of your low ticket offer as the first step in a relationship. It's not supposed to solve everything, right? That's not the objective. It's just to get the foot in the door. It's supposed to get them enough trust to buy the bigger thing, buy the next step, right? And it's like, there's so many elements that go into it. It's the first impression. It's that the front end doesn't cannibalize the upsell, the order bumps, or even the high ticket offer. It's also even your low ticket offer is the thing that they are problem aware of, right? Solution aware of. And then as they get deeper into funnel, you start to actually educate them on, it's not just this, this is actually a small part of XYZZ, and you need the whole system. So this is really why low ticket offers are so powerful, because as well, once someone's purchased from you, it's like ownership bias kicks in. I want to work with this guy, providing they've had a good experience, or girl, providing they've had a good experience, right? And then you can kind of introduce them into your ecosystem. Now, next is that imperfect offers beat perfect ones that never launch, right? I was in a period myself where I was waiting for my offer to be perfect. Launch something that's good enough, get real feedback, and then improve it. Waiting for perfection, in my opinion, is just another form of procrastination, right? Next is, keep your messaging honest. Don't oversell or use sleazy tactics. People can smell bullshit from a mile away, guys. Be real about what you're offering and who it's for. Long-term trust beats short-term sales. On to the last few ones here, guys. So your reputation is your best asset. Being known for something specific is more valuable than being the best at everything. Focus on becoming the go-to person in your niche, even if you're not the absolute best. Now, almost at the end here, guys. So understand your customer's real problem. Talk to your customers, ask them what keeps them up at night, build your messaging around their actual pain, not what you think their pain should be. If you are just starting out and you haven't got, hundreds of thousands of freaking orders coming through on a daily basis, like, I would even recommend having 15 to 30 minute discovery sessions where it's like a complimentary call. They get access to you, especially during the initial phase of actually rolling this whole thing out. Like, you could launch the offer, the imperfect offer, have some conversations with people, really get some real world fucking data on what these people want. And then on the next round of, optimizing the product, the funnel, or the messaging, like, you're going to be so much more equipped with problems that people are actually having rather than the problems that you think they're having, right? And lastly, guys, your sales calls should feel like conversations. Don't script everything. Let your sales team have real conversations with real people. People buy from people they like, not from robots reading a script. If you want to connect with me, go ahead and follow my Instagram. Links down in the description, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.